Okay, to continue our lessons about quadratic equations, solving quadratic equations by subtracting square roots. So, as general rules to solve equations of the form x squared is equal to n, use the square root property. And if x to the power of 2 equals n, and n is greater than 0, then x is equal to square root of n, or x is equal to negative square root of n. So this is now our symbol for square roots. So square roots, that's a symbol for square roots. So note that x Note that x is equal to positive and negative square root of n is a shorthand way of writing x is equal to square root of n, or x is equal to negative square root of n. So square root property involves taking the square roots of both sides of a quadratic equations. This is applied when the second degree term with 1 at each numerical is isolated. So we have to look the roots by subtracting square roots. Let's have example for number 1. Solve the equations x squared minus 25. So another subtracting square root we have involves taking the square root of both sides. So let's have example for number 1. X squared minus 25 is equals to 0. So for the solution for number 1 is x squared minus 25 is equal to 0. You have to transpose the negative 25 to the right side, and negative becomes positive. So you have to transpose the negative 25 to the right side, and the negative becomes positive and positive becomes negative. So x squared minus positive 25. So square root property involves square roots of both sides. You have to square the both sides. So square of x squared is equal to square of 25. So square of x squared is x, because you have to cancel out the square root and the power of 2. So ang nahabilin is the x. Square root of 25 is positive and negative 5, because positive times positive is equal to 25. Negative 5 times negative 5 is equal to positive 25. That's why the answer is x is equal to positive and negative 5. Okay, that's how to answer solving quadratic equation by subtracting square roots. To check if our answer is correct this is now how to check if our answer is correct. So checking. So if x is equal to positive 5 and if x is equal to negative 5, all you have to do is substitute to the given equation. X squared minus 25 is equal to 0. So our x is 5. So all you have to do is substitute the value of x. So 5 square is minus 25 is equal to 0. 5 square is 25. Minus 25 is equal to 0. So 25 minus 25 is 0 is equal to 0. So our answer is check. if x is negative 5, so x squared minus 25 is equal to 0. So our x is negative 5 square. Negative 5 square minus 25 is 0. So negative 5 times negative 5 is positive 25 minus 25 is equal to 0. So 25 minus 25 is 0 is equals to 0. So now this our answer is check f x is equal to positive and negative 5. So that's how to solve quadratic equation by extracting square roots. So square roots property involves square of both sides. So let's have example number 2. I will erase the example for number 1. For number 2 is solve the equation x squared minus 11 is equals to 0. So the solution is x squared minus 11 is square root. Transpose the negative to the right side becomes positive 11. So square the both side, square root of 11. So cancel the square root and the power 2. The habilin is x. Then square root of 11 is still square root of 11 because no need to calculate because 11 is not a perfect square. So that's magpabilin siya sa square root of 11, positive and negative square root of 11. So this is now our answer. So for checking is so fx is equal to positive 11 and fx is equal to negative square root of 11. So we have to substitute the value of x. X squared minus 11 is equal to 0. Square root of 11 is square minus 11 is 0. So cancel out the square root and the power of 2. The habilin is 11 minus 11 is equal to 0. So 11 minus 11 is 0 is equal to 0. So our answer is check. How about if x is equal to negative square root of 11? So substitute the value of x, which is the negative square root of 11. So x squared minus 11 is equal to 0. So substitute the value of x, which is negative square root of 11. Negative square root of 11 square minus 11 is 11. So negative times negative positive, then cancel the square root and the power, and habilin is 11 minus 11 is equal to 0. 11 minus 11 is 0 and equal to 0. Our answer is correct. Now the solutions are the solutions are positive square root 11 and negative square root of 11. So this is now our solutions for solve the equation x squared minus 11 is equals to 0. How about example number 3?